Hello, hello. Good morning. Yeah, you know I'm always 10 minutes late. At least. Alright, I'll just post the direct link in the Facebook group. So I'm just posting the link everywhere, so I'll be back in a couple minutes. So I'll just be looking into the void right now. Right, I hope the sound is off. If I click on my own video. There we go. Just setting everything up. I'm not looking at the chat yet, so I'll welcome you guys in a minute. Let's see, here's the Facebook post. There we go. Right, okay. Let's close some windows before it uses up all of my Wi-Fi. Oh, I just sold a pattern. Just got an email. Okay. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Minnie. Good morning, Annalena. Good morning, Natasha. Good morning, Aniek. Good morning, Miranda. Good morning, Irene. Hello, hello. Hope you're all doing well. On this Thursday morning. I'll move the microphone a bit closer because I had moved it out of the way. Hello. Good morning, Sandra. Hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Just setting up my second camera here. Because today I'm going to be doing some more knitting on my blanket. Okay. Right, so I have my tripod here. And I'll put my phone in there. And in order for it to not tilt down, I don't know why it doesn't do that on its own. I have to put a little stick in here. So I have a little Scottish flag. Yeah. And then linking this. Oh, there we go. No. There. Okay. So that's all set. I won't turn it on just yet. Good morning. Winnie is okay, just a bit too busy with work. Aw. Yeah. Work is always too busy. Annalena says, you're doing a great job, as I saw on Instagram. Yeah, the squares are flying off the needles. So I have a lot of new squares to show you. Morgmate says, good night. It's 2 a.m. Los Angeles. Oh, good night to you. Hope you have a good night's sleep. Good morning, Hilde. Goedemorgen. Right. So, I'm curious, Annalena, did you finish your Advent sweater? Because I remember last week you were almost finished. So let me know. And I know that Natasha was working on a sweater as well. Still can't remember the name. I know it's the one with the dark green photo on Ravelry. Don't tell my boss I'm washing while working at home. I won't tell him, Sandra. You did! Oh, good. That's always nice to finish a project, and especially a sweater. Have you worn it yet? Because that's like the best part. Okay. Where is my squares overview? It's so colorful. Yeah, I bet, with all of the Advent yarns in there. Making a project with Advent yarn can be really tricky because, usually it's colors that take you by surprise a little bit. So it can be really tricky to make something with Advent yarn. But yeah, I bet it's super colorful. The Yggdrasil sweater, yeah. I had to frog the yoke twice because of mistakes. And not making a gauge swatch. I know. Yeah, I mean, you know how I treat gauge swatches now? That is a random pair of scissors here. Okay, so I always want to cast on the next new thing, right? But of course, I can't always cast on new things. So then what I do is just cast on a swatch. So I can already have a little play with the yarn. And I've knitted the swatch. So that feels like I get bonus points. So that's what I do when I'm anticipating casting on, but I can't cast on just yet. So that's my trick for getting myself to do gauge swatches. Good morning, Yvonne. Nice to see you. So I'm just... Yes, it's working. Okay. Okay. Need to move things around a little bit. There. Okay. So I have my notebook. So this is basically where I write down all of the works in progress. And so this month I only finished the Advent cowl, and I think I was very optimistic with coloring in the progress thing for the colorwork blanket, because I don't know. It's usually just a guess because I don't know how much time the border will take. Let's see where I have my squares. There. I don't know if this is totally up to date. I don't think so. Annalena says, good idea, especially when you have a new yarn. Oh yeah, for the gauge swatch, yeah. Vinny says, I copied your idea of the whip page. Oh yeah, it's just, it really works for me to get myself motivated. So I hope it helps you too. I'm just going to check my own Instagram stories because I know I kept it fairly up to date there. how many squares I had done. I know I've done more of the triangle ones. Let's see. Yeah, just looking at my own Instagram stories. Yeah, so I did, these were squares 65 and 66, and then I did 67, and that's probably here. 68, yeah, and I'm working on 69 right now. Okay, so I've got 8 there. 68 Jan. So let's say that was yesterday. Yeah, and last week I had 60 probably, because last week was January 18th. Okay. Still a lot more to go. Good morning, Sarina. How are you? And this morning I started weaving in some of the ends. So I'm just going to snip them where I did that. And then I'll finish the next square. And then I'll just have 11 left to go. Suddenly getting quite close to finishing this. Well, that's maybe very optimistic. Yeah. And I'm planning next week. I don't think no, I didn't sew in these yet. So for the next 2 weeks, I'll be home alone because my partner has some field work in Orkney. I think, is Orkney a region or is it an island? I think it's an island group. Orkney. It's an island group, yeah. And it's like in between Scotland mainland and the Shetland Islands, I think. Yeah, it's in between Scotland mainland, so Thurso and John O'Groats, and the Shetland Islands. So he's going there, which is very exciting. There are lots of yarn stores on Orkney, so I made him promise me to get some yarn for me. And Ivana says that you can go live with us every day. Yeah. So I am planning that when I finish the last square, that I'm just going to marathon live stream finishing up, like sewing everything together, which I think will be very motivating for me. Okay, I haven't sewed these in yet. Oh, I have sewed in these. So sorry, I keep sniffling. So I blocked all of these squares so they're not completely curled up. That makes it difficult to sew it all together. I'm just going to finish sewing in all of these ends and then I'll finish the next square. Yeah. But yeah, I'll have to think of a little bit of a different setup. Oh, I picked the wrong needle, I think. Yeah. This is not sharp enough. I'm really picky about the needles that I use for sewing in ends. And I think for the, I'm saying marathon live stream, but I don't know how long I can do it. Because I have to think about a different setup, because if I do these live streams, usually I do about an hour and a half or 2 hours, and after that I notice that I'm sitting really hunched, so I don't know, maybe I need to move, like I can set this desk higher, so maybe I need to do that, or maybe I need to do something else, because I need to sit up straight. Yeah, so do let me know what you're working on in the meantime, or if you're not, you don't have to be crafting right now. Just let me know what you've been working on this week. And I'm very curious, Anna-Lena, if you've casted on any new things after finishing your sweater. That's maybe a better question for the rest of you as well. What new cast on, are you looking forward to? When you allow yourself to cast on a new thing, what are you gonna make? Oh, I think Momo's joining us. She's just sneaking in the background. Annalena is working on her field day cardigan from Ozetta. Oh, yeah. I think I've seen that one before. Irene just finished the gauge swatch for the Metenis pullover by Zenit and Knits. Going to cast on tonight, hopefully. Ooh, that's fun. I need to look that up. Metenis sweater. Oh, that's so nice. Okay. I'm gonna have to show that. How do I do that? Okay. There it is. So beautiful. Let's see if I can multitask and show you a different picture. That's really beautiful. And now, did I zoom in? Yeah. Oh, it might have just been mumbling. I don't know if you could hear me. Sorry. Anik is working on the granny cardigan from Hohilok Telly. Fun. Natasha wants to start a baby blanket this week for a teacher at school. We'll be crocheting again after a long while in moss stitch. Oh, that's a really fun stitch to do. Ivana has just started a shawl. Miranda's work in progress is the second sock of a new pair, and my new project. Wait, let's see. Oh, you finished the second sock yesterday, on Wednesday. I'm starting with knitting a top-down sweater. Yay! Bought the yarn for the sweater last week. Oh, top-down sweater is so fun. Oh, Woensdag is when? Okay, so, and my new project, When I finish the second sock. Okay. Now I get it. Yeah, sorry. Sarina doesn't have anything new to do yet. Okay, so you can have a little think. Did you finish the headband or the hat for your cousin Frida? Or was it the Frida headband? Might have mixed that up. Autocorrect, yeah. Hilde started a cardigan for her granddaughter, a pattern from Knits du Nord. Oh, I've heard of that. Knits du Nord. Oh. Okay, it's not, Ravelry isn't finding it, but I'll note it down. Oh, it's the Frida headband. Oh, yeah. Okay. Nice. Okay, that's sewn in already. So while I was finishing these squares, I was doing them so that, I would do one of these and I would do every one of those so that now I don't have to do, I'm saying this wrong. I finished every one of these. I finished all the squares from this pattern. And I finished all the squares from that pattern. And the one from the little leaves. Yeah. Oh, I had one more thread to do here. And it does help when you do all of these, the same design in a row. Because, usually I would just pick a new square to knit each time. But doing the same one really helps with knitting them quickly. Because you just, you just memorize some of the stitches. Yeah, maybe I'll Google the Knits du Nord instead of on Ravelry. Oh yeah, I'm finding them on Instagram. Oh, that is so cute. Oh, those are super cute. This is a good account to follow, I think, if you want to do lots of baby knits. There are going to be 2 new babies in my life this year, so I have some baby knitting to do. And I keep hearing ghosts. It's probably Momo. I've just cast on a baby blanket as well for my sister-in-law last week. And yeah, it's really nice. She wanted a wool and silk blanket, and it's just such a nice yarn. Let's see, Yvonne is still knitting on her seashore. It was seashore sweater, right, or a cardigan. And Winnie has several works in progress: a top-down sweater, a pair of socks for her dad, and the scent of pine. Yay! Oh, I really need to get back into knitting lace shawls because lace is just so much fun. And I have this yarn. This yarn, this one. It's waiting to be a shawl, but it's been waiting for 2 years. Yeah, things just get in the way. you know, things happen when you move to a different country and when you publish a book. Yeah, that's what happened with this pattern as well, because this pattern, I'm only just adding the border pattern to the blanket pattern because I just thought I could do it like super easy. But then so many things came along and I got I don't want to say distracted, but I just had a lot on my plate. So I'm very happy to be finishing this, the blanket pattern at least. I've just finished the English version yesterday, and I'll be doing the Dutch version today. So that's the Colorwork Sampler Blanket. And to be fair, I don't think anyone who has got the pattern is at the border yet, because, you know, you do that at the very end, and you need to knit a lot of squares before you get there. And to be honest, like, you can improvise a border if you want. It's not like you have to knit the border that I designed for it. But I'm just really, really happy to be finally like almost finishing the blanket myself as well, because I think it's gonna be so pretty. Right, before I forget and it gets too far in the stream, I should mention just, you know, the house admin. So those of you who've been in before, you know what I'm gonna say. It's, you know, the Wi-Fi has good connection right now, but you know, if there's bad connection, you might have to rewind me like 30 seconds or something, if the video gets very choppy, and if the video gets very pixelated, then you can adjust the quality by hovering over the video, and then you see the settings wheel, and then you can change the quality settings, because usually when you watch a live video, YouTube just assumes that you want to watch it in like potato quality. Nothing against potatoes, but and you have to manually set it to a higher quality. Okay, that is the last end. All right. Oh, and let's just show you the squares that you voted for last week, which were these. Oops. I only have a couple of yarn options left now. So yeah, I knit these, and then the second favorite, which was the blue and purple, I knit those right after. So yeah. I actually I made a mistake while doing the triangle pattern. Let's see if you can see that. I made it mirrored. And also I just got confused. So you have a couple of triangles and then you have a half triangle. But here I did the half triangle on the wrong side, and you're supposed to end on a full triangle and then just a little dot connecting the triangles, and I started on the wrong row, which meant I had to keep going. So I just I started on the wrong row of the pattern and I mirrored it. So yeah, I don't know what happened, but I really don't think it matters. So I'm just going to, because I figured it out when I was halfway done with the square. So yeah, I just wasn't going to do that again. Don't think it matters. But yeah, just wanted to show that because everyone makes mistakes. Serena says the blue and purple is so nice. Thank you. Annalene, I'm not sure what you're reacting to. No, it doesn't. Oh, you mean no, it doesn't matter? Thank you. You're all so nice. So now with the next triangle square. And now, yes. Okay. So now with the next triangle square, I was really paying attention. And let's see. I need to do 3, 6, 9, 10 triangles, and I have 3, 6, 9. Okay, so one more triangle. Yeah, so while I knit the very last row of triangles, let me fill you in about the this year's theme, because since last year I'm doing yearly themes for my Patreon supporters, and last year it was the year of using what I have, which was very useful for me because I needed to move country, so I needed to either give away a lot of stuff or make sure that I use a lot of my things, because I only wanted to move with me what was actually useful for me. And yeah, and I was being very critical of, is that the word? I was being very picky of what I would bring along with me. So that was a very helpful theme last year, and I got some really fun projects out of it, from stash yarn, and I know lots of you did stash yarn projects as well, and it just feels really nice. Like, I feel that when you, of course, it's nice when you knit or crochet with new yarn, but I feel like there's more pressure if you do things with newly bought yarn. Like, you almost feel an obligation to the yarn to create something nice, right? Whereas if you're working with yarn that you already have, you might not feel as strongly, so you might feel like, oh, I already feel good for using up stash yarn, so I'm not going to be too picky about what I make. And then you might end up making more simple things. And I find that, the more simple things I make, the more often I use them. So a simple, like one color sweater, I would wear more often than a sweater with a lot of colors, for example, So that's one thing that I noticed last year. So let me just... And for this year, the theme is Year of Home. And again, I'm just thinking of a theme that is most helpful for me so that I'm actually, more motivated to think of designs for it. And also because... Okay, no. This is getting too far into a tangent. Okay, so the Year of Home, and what I mean by that is creating things for your home to make it, more homely. And that is especially helpful for me this year because I'm going to be, I live in a temporary home right now. We are renting a home, we are kind of just waiting to purchase our next home here, because you need to be living in the UK for a little bit to build up some credit, and of course we don't want to buy the very first home we see. We want to look around a little bit. So we're renting right now, and a lot of people are renting right now because I know in the Netherlands it's just almost impossible to buy something if you haven't bought a home before. So it's really difficult. So a lot of people are renting right now, and a lot of the time you can't really do a lot in a place that you're renting. You can't paint the walls or drill a hole in it or whatever. And also sometimes because you feel like it's a temporary space, you don't want to put in a lot of effort. So what I'm going to do this year is I'm going to make some items that will make my home more homely, but that are also renter friendly, so I can take it along with me to my next home. Hi, Mochi Yarns podcast. Good morning. Where are you joining from? So I was just thinking about designing more and making more. It's not necessarily my own design. Making more renter-friendly projects. Oh, good morning from Germany. Oh, hello. Good morning from Scotland. And one of the... I'm not sure if I already know which project I'm gonna do first, but so I'm going to do some decorations, such as a bath mat. I'm doing some seat cushions, and just little things to, just little things for everyday life. So I'm really excited to get started with that. Mochi Yarn says, I love your podcast, but I always replaying your lives because work. Yeah, I know this is not an ideal time for everyone, and I keep saying that I'll try out some other time, but I don't know. Sometimes I just get into a routine and Thursday mornings just work. But I was saying just earlier in the live, the next 2 weeks I'm gonna be home alone, so I might do some more live streams just for you to keep me company. But I really, I think after 3 or 4 p.m. it's already so dark here that I can't really do a video without overhead light. So it'll probably still be the morning or early afternoon. Okay, so I think I've just finished the last color work row. Yeah. Yeah, knitting parties. Yeah. Yeah, because I'm almost done making the squares for this blanket. And you can see that these are already sewn together. And the sewing together, I really want to do that on the live stream. So yeah, I might do that next week. This is square number 69. So afterward, and I have to do 80 squares. So after this one, I have 11 more to make. So I'm not sure if I can already assemble the blanket next week, because at the rate that I was going now, I was finishing 1 square a day. So that means technically that in 11 days I'll have all of the squares. But I'll be casting on square number 70, and I think I might be finishing that later today. So who knows? Yeah. I was also thinking of just of looking up a music service, because ideally for like a really long live stream I would like to have some music on the background, but I think you need a subscription for that, so I'm just going to look into it and see. And I'm just using the regular cast off here. These squares all have the regular long tail cast on, regular cast off, just to give them a sturdy edge for sewing them together. Ta-da! Okay, so I started this one with the yellow, so now I'm starting with the blue. Yvonne says, you're a fast cast-off girl. What can I say? Lots of practice. But yeah, the standard cast-off, yeah, I can do that pretty quickly, but it also sometimes ends up being too tight. I have to cast on 4 more stitches. I only have a short tail left. Oh no! Okay. Okay. That's a very short tail. Yeah, I'll manage weaving that in. You won the yarn chicken, yay! I love winning yarn chicken. Talking about yarn chicken, so I use the same 10-gram balls for each square, and sometimes I have quite a bit left, and sometimes there's just a very small amount left, so I don't know what I did. Do we have it here? Okay, I have it downstairs, but I've never run out of yarn for these squares, but yeah, sometimes sometimes I think, okay, I would not be able to do another row of this. But I'm a very loose knitter, so that kind of makes sense. If you're a loose knitter, you use more yarn than if you're a tight knitter. Natasha asks, have you started watching Doctor Who? Yes, I have. And this was so funny, right? So last week, was it last week? Yeah, I think it was last week. So we also discussed Doctor Who, and some of you recommended that I also watch the Torchwood series, which is a spin-off. So I thought, okay, I'll just keep it in mind. And later that day, I was texting the Facebook Marketplace seller who is selling me the Doctor Who series. And she asked, oh, by the way, I also have the Torchwood series. Would you like those for like an extra £5? And I was like, oh, yeah. So that was such a coincidence. And it was just such a nice experience because she was very, very excited about like Doctor Who and Torchwood, and she was like, oh, you've never watched it before, and she was like very excited for me that I could watch it for the first time, because I never watched Doctor Who before. We have watched the first 4 episodes now of series 1, and to be honest, those 4 episodes were really bad. But I'm a very patient person, so I'm just sitting there like, oh yeah, this is bad, but it's fine. But my partner, who is watching it with me, he cannot handle bad TV or something. Like, the special effects and the way the story was written, for the first couple of series episodes. Yeah. So his patience has run dry. So we've decided that, when he's gone for the next 2 weeks, I'm just going to continue watching, and then I'll stop once it gets good, and then wait for him to come back. Yeah. But I'm very patient, so I just think, okay, this is just stuff I need to see. It's information I need to know so that I can understand the other series. Yeah. I keep reminding myself like, oh, it was like from 20 years ago, so. But I'm just really excited for the David Tennant Doctor period. Because I don't know this one, Chris Eccleston. Haven't seen, I haven't seen him mentioned. So, and whenever people say their favorite doctors, I don't think they ever mention him. So maybe, yeah. But I'll watch them. I'll watch them all. I have series 1 to 7 right now. And I think the series coming this year is series 14, so I need to find the other ones. But I think it'll be a while before I finish series 7. Sarina says he had a short span as a doctor for a reason. Okay. Okay, good. So I'm not the only one. Okay, for some reason this color combination just screams SpongeBob to me. This lemony yellow, it's showing up a bit more egg yolk yellow, but it really is SpongeBob yellow, lemon yellow, and then the blue from the sea. So yeah, this is the SpongeBob phase of the blanket. So this is the very last triangle square I need to do, which is quite exciting. And then, okay, maybe we can do a little pull again. So let's see. I still need to do this one. This one. And this one. Anik says, SpongeBob is better than what I had in mind. I thought Zeeman and Ikea. Yeah. Yeah, blue and yellow is just, yeah, used very often. Why is watching someone knit so relaxing? Oh. And I'll show you the colors that I have in mind as well. So I'll open a poll in a second. So these are the very, very last squares. How do I do this again? Start a poll. Yeah. So we have the diamond. Oh, I'll ask which square design next? Diamond square. How should we call this one? I'll just say tiny squares. Sorry, I don't have a better one. And the cross plus sign. Okay. What about the minions? Yeah, exactly. Those are blue and yellow as well. Oh, I'll leave them where you can see them. I'm gonna leave the poll open just a little bit longer, but I think we have a winner. Okay, I'm going to end the poll because the diamond is the clear winner. So thank you for helping me decide what to knit next. Watches. One is 17 stitches and the other one is 19. Which one should I pick? So I'm assuming that this is your stitch gauge. And how many, like, does it come close for the row gauge, the vertical gauge? Did my camera just reset? There. And also let me know if you're making like a sweater or a blanket, or because that also helps with the decision or with my recommendation. Row gauge is 2 rows less in both. Okay, so row gauge is the same. Making a poncho, which is going to be seamed. Okay. And which fabric do you like better? Because that's the one that I would go with. Yeah, I usually go for the yeah, so 17 stitches, so that's less stitches per 10 centimeters, so that means you have wider stitches. So yeah, it feels a little bit more fluffy, a little bit more drapey, which is nice for a poncho because a poncho does not have to be tight fitted. So I'd go with that option as well. The poncho is oversized as well. Okay. But you know, having 17 stitches actually makes it more oversized, right? So yeah. So you have to figure out for yourself if, you know, if you like the oversized bit, then of course I go for the 17 stitches. Wouldn't it be that 17 stitches is less oversized than 19? No. If you have 17 stitches per 10 centimeters, that means they are wider than if you are able to get 19 stitches in that same 10 centimeters. So 19 stitches would be tighter than 17 stitches. It always seems like so confusing when knitting gauge. Yeah, no worries. It's why I always, or in my newer patterns, I tend to just put it in there like, okay, if you have more stitches per 10 centimeters, try a bigger needle. If you have less stitches, try a smaller needle. Just because sometimes you can't wrap your head around it. Sometimes I wish also designers place the before blocking and after blocking. Yeah, so I always put after blocking because that's ultimately what matters. Before blocking, it can really depend on how you're knitting, and that can be so different from person to person that that it might seem like it helps with giving the most information, but ultimately after blocking is what you want, because if your gauge matches up before blocking with the one in the pattern, then there's still a big chance that it won't match up after blocking, and then what are you gonna do? Never wash your project? So yeah, sorry, I've just spent years and years just thinking about this, and whether I should put both in there, or before blocking or after blocking. So I think only with like amigurumi stuff I put before blocking, because I don't really, I don't wash amigurumi projects. Because they usually just, I make them and then they sit on a shelf. There was this one time where I designed one square in a blanket, and it was a collaboration with other designers, and we each designed one square. And that was such a puzzle with gauge, because we had to figure out, like, okay, how do we do this? Because we wanted each square to have the same amount of stitches for easy seaming up. And sorry. So what we ended up doing was that in the pattern we recommended, okay, for this square we recommend 3mm crochet hook. For this square we recommend 4mm crochet hook. Because there were lots of gauge differences between us designers. And then yeah, it was a really fun project. but the gauge just made it, just added a layer of difficulty to it. Oh, I'm curious, by the way, for everyone who's watching. Was there a lot of storm damage where you live this week? Because we didn't really get much of the storm out here in Inverness, but like more to the west in Scotland, there were a lot of fallen trees, and it got quite scary. But luckily we seem to have, missed most of it. There were some cancelled trains though. In Sweden we have some, okay. Yeah, I didn't hear much about it from my family in the Netherlands, so I'm hoping that there wasn't a lot of storm damage there, but who knows. Hilda says, no problem in Belgium. Okay, that's good to hear. Natasha says, my greenhouse was broken down due to the storm. So that can go now because I can't fix it. Didn't really get the chance to use it since we only just gotten it. Oh, that is such a shame. Maybe it could be fixed by someone else? Do you think? I did see that, you know, someone here from the next village posted a photo on Facebook like, anyone want a trampoline? Because there's one on my neighbor's roof. And everywhere on the news it said, oh, tie your trampolines to your fence or tie it somewhere because they seem to fly around a lot. But yeah, greenhouses seem like they're very vulnerable as well. Especially if it's like a polytunnel type thing. The plastic connector piece broke straight through. Oh no. Such a shame. Might still be worth like checking out repair cafes or stuff like that. Ever since, you know, the Repair Cafe TV show started, I think there's a UK one and a Belgian one. I'm seeing loads more repair cafes just pop up everywhere. I know there's one in Beegte in Limburg. And there are a couple here as well. For like, I think it's the like one day every month. People can come in and submit their items. I'd love to repair knitwear and stuff, but I think like around here everyone kind of grows up knowing how to do that. There aren't a lot of like knitting workshops here as well because everyone just kind of knows, which is very funny. There are some crochet beginner workshops here though. Oh, and I am going to a yarn festival, well, in April. So it's still a while away, but I'm already getting really excited planning for it. There's a new festival in Edinburgh this year called the Woolly Good Gathering, and they have a Kickstarter page right now. So it's called the Woolly Good Gathering in Edinburgh, because Edinburgh used to have, you know, EYF, Edinburgh Yarn Festival, but the last edition was 2019, and I don't think, you know, they're not having a show this year. You know, they haven't had one since 2019, so I'm not sure if they'll come back. But it's nice to have another one in Edinburgh. It's a 3-hour drive for me, so it's still not around the corner, but I'm really excited to go there. It's April 26th and 27th, and I'm thinking of just buying one of their Kickstarter tickets, because then you get to decide later on if you want to come on the Friday or the Saturday. And then there's one at the end of May as well, May 31st and June 1st, in Galashiels. I don't know if it's Galashiels or Galashiels or Galashiels, or I don't know. It's just a bit to the south of Edinburgh. So if you're planning a trip to Scotland this year, May and June, you know, April as well, are just really nice months to visit, because the temperature is quite good and the mosquitoes aren't here yet. The what are they called? Midges? So the Woolly Good Gathering or the Tangled Galashiels might be a nice festival to go to if you want to do a Scotland trip this year. Sorry, Serena, I'm not getting what you're saying. That's what they called? You mean the names of the festivals? Oh, the bugs. Yeah. Midges or something. I haven't encountered them yet, but yeah, we've only been here from October, so I think from July onwards, maybe even June, we'll get our first encounter with midges. been up knitting since 4 a.m. Wow. What are you knitting on? You know, sometimes it's nice to do a lot of knitting in the morning. But, you know, if it's because you couldn't sleep, then it's not always nice. I hope you get better night's sleep next time. I'm making a sock out of super speckled yarn. The color is great. Oh, that's nice. I love speckled yarn. It just offers this, you know, variety while knitting, but also sometimes, or most of the time, it's not like super overpowering, the color. Oh, Lane, by the way, was it you with the Hello Kitty sewing machine last week? Because my boyfriend was just dropping in and out last week of the live stream, and afterwards, like later in the day, he said, by the way, that Hello Kitty sewing machine, why isn't that a thing here? I think he wants one. I mean, I already have 2 sewing machines, so I don't think I'm going to be buying a third one, but if I would... Yes, it was you! Have you tried it yet? I went to have a little Google search, and there are so many different Hello Kitty sewing machines. I had never heard of it. Okay, I'm already laughing. Haha, I have 5 sewing machines now. The Hello Kitty one is running pretty well. I had to order a bobbin casing that it was missing, but it was cheap and I got here in a couple days. Oh, that is... I'm so happy for you. You know what I would love? Like an Animal Crossing knitting machine, a sewing machine. Just, you know, so many of them are just white. Like, there's so much opportunity for color. And most of them are just white. I don't understand. Like, I think everyone would go crazy for a bright yellow Pokemon sewing machine. Yes. Is that just like a dream, or do they actually have those? Oh my god, Winnie, what about Ghibli sewing machine? Yes. Did you see the new Ghibli movie? I saw it the day before yesterday, The Boy and the Heron. It was peak Ghibli. Very, very nice. I did watch it in English because they didn't have the original Japanese option. but it was nice to watch. Yeah. Yeah, it's really, it's a mixture of Spirited Away and When Marnie Was Here, and yeah, it's just, I won't spoil it, but it's a really worthy Ghibli movie. About the Pokemon sewing machine. Okay, it's a dream, but I'm about to Google it, and now with fingers crossed. Yes! Ariadne. Oh, hey, Ariadne. Hey, everyone. Very late, but happy to catch some of the live stream. Gonna do some self-care after therapy and listen to the stream and play on my Switch. Oh, that sounds like the best self-care. What are you gonna play on the Switch? We are currently playing a lot of Stardew Valley. Because I don't know why. No, not because of anything. Just, yeah, we are obsessed with Stardew Valley. And apparently there's this Scottish game on Switch called the Highlander Song, or the Highland Song, which is it's a 2D platform game, and you play this girl who like walks in the mountains and then learns more about a Highland song from her childhood, which is very cute, and I think it was narrated in Scottish, so there's a Gaelic option as well. But so I think that's the next game I'm gonna get. Lane says, okay, it looks like there is a Pokemon sewing machine, but it's definitely a toy. Oh, I saw this. This was like, you can put in the, it was a game for, no, that was just one that you could operate with a Game Boy Color. There was a Game Boy Color sewing machine. So yeah, sorry if you can hear me typing. Game Boy Color sewing machine, yeah, Nintendo. Yeah, this was just insane. So instead of the pedals, you could control it with the with a Game Boy. I don't know how it works. Pokemon sewing machine. Oh, so cute. Takara Tomy sewing machine. Oh, that is so cute. Okay, maybe they have one. Animal Crossing sewing machine. Oh, then they just show the sewing machines that you have in game. Yeah, I don't mean those. Maybe I'll just get stickers for my sewing machine. Oh, you are playing Stardew Valley. Okay, maybe I could sense it. Yeah, me and my boyfriend, we have a co-op farm, and we went really hardcore on it, like Skull Cavern hardcore mining days. Yeah, just getting that iridium ore, and yeah, I don't know if how far you are into the game. I don't want to give you any spoilers, but this was our first playthrough where we had completed the community center, and afterwards it unlocks another part of the game which we hadn't done before, and it's just so fun. I love it when you think like, oh, okay, I'm almost done with this game, and then it just unlocks this whole new chapter. And there's gonna be a new update as well, but I'm not sure yet when. think I will have to stop soon though, because it's almost 12 here and my stomach is rumbling. And I have another video call on at 1 p.m. So yeah, I'm gonna call it a day soon. Oh, an update from last week though, because last week I mentioned I was waiting on a package for my knitting machine, and I did receive it last Monday. I got the claw weights. So these are weights that you hang on your knitting project. They open like this. And then, you know, pretend the needle is my knitting machine. Oh, you would see it from the purl side, and then you hang. Am I even in the screen? Yeah. So then you hang the claw weight on there, and one on the other side. Okay, let's not do that. And then it just pulls your knitting down so that it doesn't. Because if there's no weight on it, then it will kind of curl up on the needles and it will get into the knitting machine. So I really needed these, but I tried to knit and then I figured out I need a cast-on comb as well. So I don't have a cast-on comb yet. Bye Hilde, see you next time. Tot de volgende keer. So I'll need to check for the cast-on comb. And that's just a thing that helps me spread out the weight more evenly. So yeah. But I don't mind getting these new parts because even though I have a really beginning knitting machine right now, I know that these parts I can also use with, you know, another knitting machine if I were to get an upgrade. But I won't have to get an upgrade for a while. Yeah, so next week I'll probably, well, I'll be here on Thursday at least, but I might be here sooner. But I will let you know either on Instagram or in the Facebook group. So make sure you follow me there. Or, you know, you can turn on the notifications here in YouTube and then you'll get a notification when I go live. Because I hope to be finishing these squares like a mad woman, knitting like a ninja, and then just assembling them. Yeah, looking forward to that. This is square number 70. I'm on track to finishing this today, and then I only need 10 more squares. So, yes. Oh, okay. Lane says, I'd love to try a knitting machine like you have sometime. I think I told you I have a circular one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I mean, I'd love a circular one, but I think they are much more expensive than the straight ones. I'm not sure actually, because the straight ones also tend to get very expensive. But here in the UK, it's usually much cheaper than in mainland Europe. So yeah, I was very excited to get this one for £30. Can't even believe it. Yeah, okay. I'm going to call it a day. Yeah. My hair is still a bit messy. Okay, I'm calling it a day for the live stream, and I'm going to get some lunch. And then I'm going to work on the Dutch translation of this pattern. And hopefully I'll be ready to publish the updated version tomorrow. Yeah, that is my goal for today. Thank you all so much for being here. See you next time. Serena, Lane, Aniek, Natasha, Miranda, Hilde, Ariadne, Yvonne. Thank you all so much. I'm sure I've missed someone. Sorry. Vinny, Sandra. Yeah, thank you so much, and I hope to see you next week. I'll be here on Thursday at least, and I'll let you know if I have some other live streams. I will let you know. But yeah, have a great day, have a great weekend ahead of you, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.